Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another exciting session that we have lined up for you all. Without any further delay, let me present to you with a keynote address from none other than Mr. Ajit Mohan, Vice President and Managing Director of Facebook, on the topic New Consumer Behavior Reshaping Business Models. Welcome, Mr. Mohan. The audience is excited to listen to you. Over to you.
Thank you, Shivani, and thank you for having me as part of the 16th IAMAI Marketing Conclave. I feel both privileged and excited to be here among some of the best marketing minds of the country. I want to start off with a story. Most of you would have heard of White Hat Junior. They were in the news earlier this month when they got acquired for $300 million. The brand offers one-to-one online coding lessons for children between grades 1 to 12. It was founded by Karan Bajaj in December of 2018 and witnessed a meteoric rise in the year and a half since then. Karan had noticed that less than 1% of schools taught coding in early childhood, resulting in a considerable skill gap on an area of quite some importance to the world at the moment. He saw an opportunity in this. What's interesting and what very few people know is that the White Hat Junior brand, the service, was built entirely on digital. And until recently, Facebook and Instagram were the only advertising channels that the company was using. We've been privileged to work closely with them, but I share the stories to reiterate something that we all know, but that's more relevant than ever before. That both in India and around the world, digital is increasingly the first port of call for savvy marketers. Marketing is digital marketing. And to draw a parallel, just to give you a bit of a context of Karan's own story, I know a friend who has been running a similar business for almost 20 years now. She's doing well. But what Karan did was to strap digital rocket engines to a very powerful idea and look at the outcome. COVID 19 has crunched clearly a few years of consumer behavior change into just a few months, even weeks in some cases. EdTech obviously is an example of a sector that has witnessed a boom as a result of the pandemic. More importantly, the example illustrates the possibility of a wave of disruptive economic models that has risen on the back of some of the big changes that have happened in the last few years, but especially in the last few months. We had an opportunity to do some work with the Boston Consulting Group recently, and that consumer behavior study noted that digitally influenced purchases have gone up by 15 to 20% for some of the largest consumer goods categories in India, such as apparel, mobile phones, and consumer packaged goods, all of which traditionally have had deep offline networks. It's clear that people are engaging with businesses on their smartphones, whether it be through reviews, through influencers they trust, through branded content, through business pages, or even ads. The report also points out that the digital acceleration we are witnessing is here to stay. I have had a lot of people ask me this question over the last few weeks. Um, Obviously, there was almost a forced sampling of digital in the context of some of the economic constraints that were put in place to address the pandemic. And a lot of people have asked, is that just a temporary thing? Will people go back to the world that they were familiar with before March of this year? And it's interesting that the report points out that 90% of consumers who purchased apparel online during the lockdown have stated their intent to continue their behavior. Now, with the festive season approaching, brands can expect a big surge in demand. And every indication is that things will not go back to what was normal. Shivani, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Sorry, my electricity went off here. Should
No.
we carry on?
Yes.
Apologies to the audience for this. Um, I was saying I was addressing the question of will consumer behavior go back to what it was last year? And it's clear that that's not the case. A bulk of the purchases are likely to happen online. In fact, video and virtual experiences are likely to be at the heart of festive buying this year. Just to give you a sense of what is happening across our own platforms, we see some of the same trend manifesting across our family of apps as well. In many of the places that have been hit the hardest by the virus, messaging volume increased more than 50%. Voice and video calling have more than doubled across Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. Live broadcasts from Facebook pages in India tripled in June of 2020 compared to the same time last year. That is 3x. And again, to give you a sense, a Facebook Commission study showed that 46% of festive shoppers would like to see videos that get them into the holiday mood. And one can understand where that sentiment is coming from. Now, a lot of the products themselves are evolving to respond to this boom. In our case, whether it's the launch of Reels or Rooms or WhatsApp expanded video calling, our products are responding to the moment where people are looking to stay connected, almost independent of geography. So clearly, that's one trend that we are seeing pretty clearly. Second, people are increasingly looking for richer experiences in virtual presence, not just pure audio and video. And you can see the trend. I'm sure most of you are experiencing this every day. What may have been just an audio conference call a few years ago is increasingly a video call today. And we can see that evolving. There's clearly a desire for engagement to be even deeper, such as an immersive experience around AR or VR in a world where most of us are constrained to be physically distant, and where the limitation is that we're not in the same physical space. The third observation that we have is the rise of hyperlocal models. Even during the lockdown, we saw local e-commerce grow. There are more tailwinds either because of physical constraints imposed by the outbreak, or because people increasingly have more consciousness and comfort with local products. And we have seen this clearly over the last few months with companies showing big spikes in demand and revenue generation on the back of a clear shift to preference for local. And most importantly, digital influence is relevant for categories that are bought online, but equally for those bought offline as well. Nielsen has a custom mix modeling tool where it measures the impact of all kinds of media, traditional media, digital media. And they did some work on the sale of Mondelez chocolates in Kirana stores and found that digital was the most effective medium to drive offline sales, not just online sales, offline sales. And this study was done even before the pandemic drove digital influence to even greater levels. So when you step back and think about a lot of these changes, it's clear that the pandemic isn't just a public health emergency, although it is one. And as a country, we are fighting really hard. But it's also clearly an economic crisis that has particularly impacted small businesses across the country. Many have closed down. Some are operating with a reduced workforce, and many others are experiencing significantly lower sales at the moment. At the same time, from Kirana stores to local service providers and pharmacies, we have also seen that small businesses have risen to the occasion and been invariably the port of call for people in terms of fulfilling their most basic needs. The scale and size of small businesses does make them agile, sometimes extremely agile in a positive way. And several of them have already adapted to the new consumer journeys by moving online. And again, I think just to bring the context of Facebook again, we believe that we have a role to play in the recovery of the small businesses and the economy. And a lot of our energy, as is the case for many people around this call, is really focused on how do we work not just with the MSME sector, but with the entire ecosystem in a way that helps connect the dots, that allows the recovery of businesses and economic activity in India in a very aggressive manner. Equally, one of the observations that we have seen is that women-run businesses face significant challenges, both in starting out as well as in sustaining the businesses. And I would like to tell you a story from Gujarat, and I tell the story to give you a sense of how critical digital has become for every part of the economy. This is a story about Kirti Punia. A company, Okai, led by her, is an organization that is dedicated to creating livelihood opportunities for artisans by enabling them to sell handmade women's apparel. It was founded with the objective of creating earning opportunities for rural women from the Okamandal region in Gujarat. It's a business that's for women and by women. During the lockdown, they saw that many artisan communities and organizations similar to them were facing piles of dead stock due to cancelled orders. Okai already had an online retail setup, and they really saw an opportunity in this crisis. They transformed themselves into a marketplace with 35 non Okai collectives and many other independent artisans retailing through them. Today, they're using Facebook and Instagram 3 times more than they were before COVID. Their July revenue, their July revenue in the middle of this crisis saw 157% growth year on year. And Okai has gone from supporting 2,300 artisans pre-COVID to more than 10,000 artisans now. That's really the power of digital. And the real power of digital infrastructure gets unleashed as startups and small businesses come online and new opportunities arise across verticals, new products and services, new innovation that allow for massive scale and really a fundamental change in the way we live our lives. Which brings me to one of the most exciting investments we have made in India in the last few months, and that's the investment in Jio Platforms. And I want to explain to you the thinking behind that. There are about 60 million small businesses in India. JioMart is enabling the digitization of 20, 25 million of these in a short period of time. And the real opportunity being all of those 60 million businesses. Our excitement is with Jio is that we believe in the particular role that a partnership can play by connecting the dots between WhatsApp and Jio with the objective of helping millions of Kirana owners to digitize their product catalogs and use WhatsApp to connect with their customers. All at the same time, while JioMart works with stores to enable order fulfillment. The reason why this is exciting is that there is an opportunity here to fundamentally structure and change consumer behavior that today happens with a lot of friction. We believe that if we can enable this, apart from making it easier for consumers, apart from dramatically increasing the pie for the small business, it can also enable the agenda of moving cash transactions online to digital payments. We also believe that it'll be a massive driver for small businesses, allowing them to grow the pie and the size of business in a way that is good for the economy at large. And lastly, we're excited that if we are able to pioneer and build a model for small businesses here, that learning can be applied to other sectors in India and even other countries around the world. To close off, I again want to come back to where I started. It's very clear that there are fundamental shifts in behavior that have been happening for a while that have accelerated in the last few months. And as marketers, I genuinely believe it'll be a mistake for us to look over the next few months and years as the economy comes back, as growth returns aggressively. It'll be a mistake for us to look for a world that has been lost. It'll be a mistake for us to try and replicate marketing models and playbooks that are no longer relevant. And the only path forward is for us to look at what is relevant for the world that is coming out of this crisis. And I genuinely believe that the opportunity for marketers is to recognize this fundamental shift in behavior for consumers and businesses and build playbooks that harness the full potential of the world that is emerging. I do think the next few years will be about models that arise out of India and are built on the experience of the Indian consumer. And I feel excited about that opportunity before us, as well as the role that all of us present here today, especially in the context of marketing, that all of us can play in shaping the next decade. Thank you for listening to me. Shivani, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mohan. It was amazing listening to you. Thank you to all our delegates and audience as well. Thank you.
Thank you.